This is about American families still waiting for justice over some of the most infamous killings carried out by ISIS. Court documents seen by NBC News suggest tension between Britain and America over the case, which may land on President Trump's desk in 2019. Today, travelled to meet a mother and a former hostage to find out why.
His name was James Foley, a war journalist devoted to shining a spotlight on the world's wrongs.
Without these photos and videos and first-hand experience, we can't really tell the world how bad it might be.
Today, from this small Massachusetts office, his mum battles to keep her son's name alive.
Jim would not want to be remembered for how he died, but rather how he lived and what he believed in.
The firstborn of 5 from Illinois, James's mom says he was always determined to help the disadvantaged.
He grew to be such a great young man. Very proud of him. Jim was very passionate because he knew it was dangerous, and he knew it was getting more and more dangerous.
In 2014, aged just 40, James Foley was the first of 27 people kidnapped and killed on camera by a gang of infamous ISIS torturers nicknamed the Beatles for their British accents. 4 years later, these men, allegedly members of the gang that killed James, are yet to face trial. British citizens Al-Shafi al-Sheikh and Alexander Cote were captured last January by Kurdish forces, who were US allies. Freelance photographer Ricardo Garcia Villanova was friends with James Foley and was one of the hostages.
They are psychopath people, you know.
They were psychopaths.
These guys, yes.
He even traveled to Syria to confront the men, who he says tortured him and the others.
He liked it, do it.
You thought they were enjoying it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can see that.
Enjoying it?
Yeah.
Now the men's fate may depend on President Trump. America has been gathering evidence against them. In this interview, exclusively obtained by NBC News, the wife of one of the accused, Al-Shafi, says, 2 members of the FBI came to talk to me. The FBI told me my husband was in jail, that he will be taken to America. The families of the Americans murdered would welcome that. But another option facing President Trump is to make the men his first detainees at the Guantanamo military detention center.
The British families and American families are strongly against Guantanamo because they used the whole image of Guantanamo and the orange jumpsuits to mock us.
2 alleged ISIS members accused of involvement in the killing of Americans, still not brought to justice.
If we don't stand up for justice, who are we? You know, we're no better than they are, you know? It's very important to do the right thing. Very important, yeah, very important.